Hello everyone, and let's talk about the importance of focus in generative AI initiatives, namely setting clear goals and priorities. Otherwise, there's a danger of misalignment, wasted resources, disconnected innovations that don't really lead to the improvement of the bottom line and the organizational mission. That's the goal, or should be the goal, of any generative AI initiative. So, how do you have this desirable outcome? Define the business problem before initiating generative AI projects. I see way too often that people are excited about generative AI and they are trying to implement it without defining the business problem that they're trying to solve. Solve real issues rather than just chasing digital infrastructure improvement or technical integration of technology without having a clear business goal. Now, when you're setting a goal, you should define the goal, not the methodology. As a leader, you should not micromanage your teams. Allow your teams the rooms they need to explore, model, and figure out optimal solutions through a variety of iterative experimentation, flexibility, clear goals with benchmarks and metrics, have dashboards and KPIs to enable data-driven adjustments over time. Let me tell you about an example. I worked with a mid-sized retail bank which wanted to overhaul its customer service operations using generative AI, specifically be more responsive to customer requests. The average time to response was 12 minutes, and that was quite too much, and customers were not satisfied. So the leadership set a goal of reducing the response time by 30%, and that's kind of what we wanted to do. So first we studied what the problem was. We found that there were inquiries that were overwhelming agents with the same sort of questions, the same sort of issues, that people were not getting satisfactory information, and that limited their focus on more complex issues. So we used generative AI to address this problem through creating a virtual assistant using natural language programming for more accurate and real-time responses to questions. We trained the virtual assistant on bank-specific policies, products, and customer sentiment cues so they can tell when the customer sentiments. And we led cross-functional teams to ensure seamless integration and training processes across the various website, mobile apps, and so on, all the ways that, and of course, telephone, all the ways that the virtual assistant would interact with customers. So the result was that after 9 months, we achieved a 35% reduction, more than desirable, in response time, surpassing the initial aim. The virtual assistant handled 65% of queries fully without requiring agent intervention. Then the agents were able to handle the remaining 35% that were too complex for the virtual assistant. It boosted customer satisfaction by 20% and saved $500,000 annually in staffing costs, which is great. And it highlights the flexibility in adapting the assistant to emerging customer needs. So as customer needs were emerging, the virtual assistant was able to gauge them, and we were able to adapt it and evolve it to customer needs. So as you're thinking about integrating generative AI, set clear goals and expectations with clear metrics, benchmarks, and milestones. Then give your people room to actually implement these. Strike the right balance between structure and flexibility to create an environment where experimentation can flourish without losing sight of the business problem you want to solve. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps others discover the show, and it helps us improve the show. And of course, if you have any questions, email me at gleb, Gleb, @disasteravoidanceexperts.com.